Admiral Jake Murphy stood on the bridge of the UES Liberty. Through the large windows, he watched the last ships carrying people away from Earth. The planet below was burning. For 3 long days, enemy ships had fired down from space, destroying everything. What was once a beautiful blue world was now black and smoking. Earth was dying. 12 billion people were dead. "Sir, we have another message from the Galactic Council," said Lieutenant Amy Carter. She was young, maybe 25, and her voice shook as she spoke. Jake felt angry. The Galactic Council had promised to protect humanity when they first met, 5 years ago. They had welcomed humans into their group of space-traveling species. They had said they were friends. But when the Zephyrian Empire attacked Earth, the Council did nothing. They just watched. "Show me the message," Jake said. Blue light appeared in the air, and suddenly Counselor Veltar was standing there. He looked like a giant lizard walking on 2 legs. His green scales caught the light. Jake had learned that when Veltar's scales shimmered like that, it meant he was feeling superior. "Admiral Murphy," Veltar said in his cold voice, "the Council is sorry about what happened to your world. But you must understand, humans moved into Zephyrian space first. They had the right to defend their territory. We cannot get involved in border disputes." Jake's hands made fists. "Border disputes? They killed our entire planet. 12 billion people are dead." "The Zephyrians followed galactic law," Veltar replied. "We suggest you find a new world far away from here. This matter is now closed." The hologram disappeared. The bridge became very quiet. Everyone stared at the place where Veltar had been, standing. Commander Lisa Hayes was the first person to speak. She was Jake's second in command and had been his friend for 15 years. "They are leaving us alone," she said. "No," Jake said quietly. "They made their choice. Now we will make ours." An hour later, Captain Ben Collins called from the colony ship New Hope. Ben was a good man who had saved thousands of people during the evacuation. "Jake, we found a star system far from here. It has 3 planets where people can live. No one else is there. We can build new homes." "No, Ben. Take the families there. Keep them safe. Build the colonies. But some of us are not running away." "What do you plan to do?" Jake looked at Earth one more time. Once it had been green and blue, with white clouds floating in the sky. Now it was brown and black, with smoke rising from the ruins of great cities. New York was gone. London was gone. Tokyo was gone. All the places where humans had lived and loved and dreamed were now just ash. "We are going to teach the galaxy why they should have helped us," Jake said. The next few hours were busy. Jake gathered his most trusted officers in the conference room. There was Lisa Hayes, who had been with him since the beginning. There was Major Sam Price, the best tactical officer in the human fleet. There was Dr. Rachel Stone, the smartest scientist they had. There was Captain Tony Clark, who led their fighter pilots. "What you are about to hear cannot leave this room," Jake told them. "We are going to do something that has never been done before." Dr. Stone leaned forward. She was a small woman with gray hair, but her mind was sharp as a knife. "What do you mean, sir?" "The Galactic Council thinks we are weak. They think we will hide in the outer systems and slowly disappear. The Zephyrians think they have broken us. All the other species think humans are just another weak race that can be pushed around." Jake stood up and walked to the window. Earth was getting smaller as the Liberty moved away. They are wrong. Humans have something that no other species in the galaxy has. When we are pushed, we push back harder. When we are hurt, we learn from the pain. When we are betrayed, we remember. Major Price spoke up. "What are you suggesting, Admiral?" "I am suggesting that we show them what humans can do when they have nothing left to lose." The room was quiet for a long moment. Then Lisa Hayes nodded, slowly. "What do you need from us?" "Everything," Jake said. "We are going to build ships that can defeat any fleet in the galaxy. We are going to make weapons that can destroy worlds. We are going to become so dangerous that every species in the galaxy will think twice before threatening a human ever again." Dr. Stone's eyes were bright with interest. "It would take years, maybe decades. We have time, Jake replied. The galaxy thinks we are broken. They will not expect us to fight back. That gives us the advantage. Captain Clark smiled for the first time since Earth died. When do we start? Jake looked around the room at his friends, his fellow humans who had lost everything but still wanted to fight. We start now. Send word to every human ship, every colony, every settlement. Tell them Admiral Jake Murphy is forming a new fleet. Tell them we are not running away. Tell them we are getting ready to take our revenge. As the HFY Liberty flew, away from the dead world that had been their home, Jake Murphy began planning the greatest military campaign in galactic history. The other species had made a terrible mistake. They had left humanity alive. Now they would learn why that was the worst decision they had ever made. The galaxy had created its own enemy. Soon they would understand the true meaning of human fury. 2 years had passed since Earth died. The human colonies in the Kepler system were doing well. Families were building new homes, children were being born, and people were trying to forget the pain. But Admiral Jake Murphy and his team had not forgotten. They were not building homes. They were building weapons. Hidden deep in an asteroid field in the Ross sector, they had created something amazing. The secret base was called Haven Station. It was built inside a huge asteroid that looked empty from the outside. But inside, thousands of humans were working day and night. Dr. Rachel Stone walked out of the research lab. Her hair was messy and her clothes were dirty, but her eyes were bright with excitement. She had been working for 18 hours straight. "Jake, it is ready," she said. "The new weapon system is working perfectly." Jake followed her to the observation window. Below them was the biggest ship ever built by humans. The USS Retribution was 3 miles long and 1 mile wide. It looked like a giant metal whale floating in space. But this whale had teeth that could bite through planets. "Tell me about the weapons," Jake said. Rachel pointed to different parts of the ship. "The main gun can destroy a city in one shot. The side cannons can cut through any armor. And the special weapon, Jake, it can make things disappear completely." Jake nodded. The special weapon had been Rachel's idea. She had studied alien technology for 2 years, learning how different species made their ships and weapons. Then she had combined the best ideas with human creativity. The result was something the galaxy had never seen. "What about our fleet?" Jake asked Major Sam Price. Sam was a tall man with short gray hair. He had been a soldier for 20 years before Earth died. Now he was training the new human military. "We have 20 stealth ships that can become invisible," Sam said. 50 attack ships that are faster than anything the aliens have, and 400 fighter craft with the best pilots in the galaxy. "How many people total?" Jake asked. 12,000 soldiers, 3,000 pilots, and 5,000 support staff. All volunteers, all angry. Commander Lisa Hayes joined them at the window. She had been Jake's friend since they were young officers. Now she was his second in command, and the person he trusted most. "Jake, our scouts have returned from Zephyrian space," she said. "The enemy is exactly where we expected them to be." "Tell me," Jake said. Lisa activated a holographic display. It showed the Zephyrian home system with its planets and moons. Red dots marked the enemy ships. 600 warships protecting their homeworld, Lisa said. "They are having a celebration." "What kind of celebration?" Jake asked, though he already knew the answer would make him angry. "The 2nd anniversary of Earth's destruction," Lisa said quietly. "They are calling it Victory Day." Jake felt his anger rise like fire in his chest. The Zephyrians were celebrating the death of 12 billion humans. They were happy about destroying Earth. They thought it was a great victory. "Perfect," Jake said. "We will give them a celebration they will never forget." Captain Tony Clark walked over to join them. Tony was the leader of all human fighter pilots. He was young, maybe 30, but he was the best pilot Jake had ever seen. "Admiral, the pilots are ready," Tony said. "We have been training for 2 years. We know every Zephyrian ship type, every weapon, every weakness." "What about their defenses?" Jake asked. Dr. Stone answered. "They have shield generators around their planet. Big space stations with powerful weapons. But we have studied their technology. We know how to get through. Jake looked at his team. These were the best humans left alive. They had given up normal lives to prepare for this day. Some had families in the colonies, but they chose to stay and fight. Others had lost everyone on Earth and had nothing left except revenge. "How long until we are ready to leave?" Jake asked. "The fleet can launch in 6 hours, Sam said. "All weapons are loaded and tested," Rachel added. "The pilots are waiting for orders," Tony said. Jake walked to the big window and looked out at the human fleet. The ships were painted black so they would be hard to see in space. They had no bright colors or decorations. They were built for one purpose: war. For 2 years, Jake had planned this moment. He had studied every battle in human history. He had learned about famous generals like Alexander the Great, Napoleon, and George Washington. He had read about how humans fought when they were desperate, when they had nothing to lose. The galaxy thought humans were weak because they asked for help. The galaxy thought humans were peaceful because they tried to make friends. The galaxy was wrong. "Send the message to all ships," Jake said. "Tell them it is time." Lisa nodded and walked to the communication station. "All ships, this is command. Prepare for departure. We leave for Zephyrian space in 6 hours." Jake opened a channel to speak to everyone in the fleet. His voice went to every ship, every pilot, every soldier. "2 years ago, we lost our home," Jake said. "The galaxy watched and did nothing. Today we show them what happens when you betray humanity. Today we begin our revenge." Throughout the fleet, 20,000 humans prepared for war. They checked their weapons, said goodbye to friends, and thought about the people they had lost. Each one carried the anger of an entire species. The time for hiding was over. The time for revenge had begun. The Zephyrian homeworld of Zefkalar was the strongest fortress in the galaxy. Giant space stations floated around the planet like metal moons. Each station had enough weapons to destroy a fleet. 600 enemy warships moved in careful patterns, protecting their home. The Zephyrians felt safe. They had the biggest military in the galaxy. Their technology was advanced. Their weapons were powerful. They had never lost a major battle. They were about to learn that there is always someone stronger. Admiral Jake Murphy stood on the bridge of the USS Retribution. Around him, his officers worked quietly at their stations. Everyone knew this was the most important day of their lives. "Sir, we are in position," said Lieutenant Amy Carter. "All ships are ready." Jake looked at the tactical display. The human fleet was spread out around the Zephyrian system, but the enemy could not see them. Human stealth technology made their ships completely invisible. "Dr. Stone, is the main weapon ready?" Jake asked. Rachel nodded. She looked nervous but determined. "The quantum disruptor is charged and ready to fire." Jake opened a communication channel to his fleet. 20,000 humans waited for his words. "Today we make them pay for Earth," Jake said. "Today we show the galaxy that humans do not forgive. Today we show them that humans do not forget." He turned to his weapons officer. "Fire." The USS Retribution appeared directly above the Zephyrian capital city. One moment the space above the city was empty. The next moment, a 3-mile-long human warship was there. The Zephyrians had no time to react. Dr. Stone's quantum disruptor fired its first shot. A beam of pure energy hit the center of the capital city. But this was not like other weapons. This beam did not explode buildings or burn them down. Instead, it made them disappear. The buildings simply stopped existing. The matter that made them was changed into energy. The energy spread outward, making more buildings disappear. In 60 seconds, the entire capital city was gone. 5 million Zephyrians died without knowing what happened. "My God," whispered Lieutenant Carter as she watched the destruction. Jake felt no happiness, only cold purpose. The Zephyrians had killed 12 billion humans. Now they would understand what that felt like. "Target the orbital defense stations," Jake ordered. Around the Zephyrian system, human ships appeared out of nowhere. The invisible fleet suddenly became visible, surrounding the enemy completely. The Zephyrians had never seen ships like these. Human vessels moved in ways that seemed impossible, appearing behind enemy ships to attack them, then disappearing again. Captain Tony Clark led 400 human fighters into battle. His pilots had trained for 2 years for this moment. They moved through the Zephyrian fleet like sharks through a school of fish. "Red leader to all fighters," Tony said over the radio. "Remember your training. Hit fast, hit hard, then get out." Human fighters were smaller than Zephyrian ships, but they were much faster. They could change direction instantly, making them almost impossible to hit. Their weapons were designed to punch through heavy armor with a single shot. Major Sam Price commanded the human battle cruisers. These ships were built for one purpose: destroying enemy fleets. Each one carried enough weapons to fight 10 normal ships. "All cruisers, focus fire on their command ship," Sam ordered. The Zephyrian flagship was huge, almost as big as the USS Retribution. It had thick armor and powerful shields. The Zephyrian admiral thought his ship was safe. He was wrong. 3 human battle cruisers attacked the flagship at the same time. Their new weapons cut through the Zephyrian shields like paper. In minutes, the enemy command ship was burning and helpless. Commander Lisa Hayes was in charge of the stealth ships. These vessels could turn invisible even during battle. They would appear, fire their weapons, then disappear again. "Stealth squadron, target their communication ships," Lisa ordered. "Cut off their ability to call for help." The Zephyrians tried to fight back, but they were confused and scared. Their enemies kept appearing and disappearing. Their weapons could not hit targets they could not see. Their formations fell apart as ship after ship was destroyed. Admiral Kethvar, the Zephyrian commander, watched his fleet being destroyed. He had fought in many battles, but he had never seen anything like this. The humans fought with a fury that terrified him. "Send a message to the Galactic Council," he ordered. "Tell them we need help immediately." But it was too late. The human stealth ships had already destroyed all the communication arrays. No message would leave this system until the humans allowed it. Jake Murphy watched the battle from his command chair. His ships were winning easily, but he felt no joy. This was not about victory, this was about justice. "Sir, the enemy flagship is trying to escape," reported Major Price. "Stop them," Jake said. The USS Retribution moved toward the fleeing Zephyrian ship. The enemy vessel was fast, but the human ship was faster. In minutes, the Retribution was flying alongside the Zephyrian flagship. Jake opened a communication channel to the enemy ship. Admiral Kethvar appeared on the screen. His reptilian face was pale with fear. "This is Admiral Murphy of the human fleet," Jake said. "Do you remember Earth?" Kethvar's voice shook as he spoke. "You cannot do this. The Galactic Council will punish you. There are laws." "The Galactic Council watched you murder our people," Jake interrupted. "Your laws did not protect 12 billion humans. Now see how much your laws protect you." Jake turned to his weapons officer. "Destroy them." The USS Retribution's main guns fired once. The Zephyrian flagship exploded in a ball of fire that could be seen from the planet below. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it was finished, the entire Zephyrian home fleet was destroyed. Hundreds of ships were burning wrecks floating in space. The orbital defense stations were gone. The planet's major cities were ruins. But Jake was not finished. He had learned something important during his 2 years of preparation. Fear was the only language the galaxy understood. If he wanted to protect humanity, he had to make every species afraid to attack humans. "Open a channel to the planet," Jake ordered. The face of the Zephyrian planetary governor appeared on the screen. The alien was shaking with terror. "I am Admiral Jake Murphy," Jake said. "Your fleet is destroyed, your defenses are gone, your capital city no longer exists. But I will let your planet live if you do exactly what I tell you." The governor nodded quickly. "You will send one ship to the Galactic Council," Jake continued. "You will tell them what happened here. You will tell them that humanity has returned, and you will tell them that any species that threatens human colonies will face the same fate as your fleet." Jake ended the transmission and turned to his crew. "Prepare to leave," he said. "We have delivered our message. Now let us see if the galaxy is smart enough to understand it." The emergency meeting of the Galactic Council was the biggest in history. Representatives from every species in the galaxy filled the Great Hall. Voices rose in panic and fear. The news from Zefkalar had shocked everyone. Counselor Veltar stood at the center of the hall. His green scales no longer shimmered with confidence, now they were pale with worry. The massive holographic display above him showed pictures of the destroyed Zephyrian fleet. "Order! We must have order!" Veltar shouted, but the noise continued. Ambassador Crix of the Altarian Federation stood up. He was a tall, thin alien with 4 arms. "The entire Zephyrian home fleet is gone. 600 ships destroyed in 6 hours. How is this possible?" "The humans have weapons we have never seen before," said Counselor Yeath of the Centauri Republic. She was old and wise, and her voice shook with fear. "Ships that can become invisible, weapons that make matter disappear. This changes everything." In the viewing gallery above the main floor, representatives from smaller species watched in terror. The Zephyrians had been the strongest military power in the galaxy. If humans could destroy them so easily, what could they do to weaker species? "We must form an alliance against humanity," declared General Voss of the Draconian Empire. He was a warrior race leader with sharp teeth and red eyes. "They are a threat to all civilized species." But before anyone could respond, the lights in the hall dimmed. A new holographic image appeared in the center of the chamber. It was Admiral Jake Murphy standing on the bridge of his ship. The entire council hall fell silent. Every representative stared at the human who had just destroyed the most powerful fleet in the galaxy. "Honored counselors," Jake began, his voice calm and steady. "I hope you have heard the news from Zefkalar." Counselor Veltar stepped forward, trying to show authority he no longer felt. "Admiral Murphy, what you have done is an act of war against the entire galactic community. You must surrender immediately." Jake smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. "Surrender? Like you surrendered when the Zephyrians destroyed Earth? Like you surrendered when 12 billion humans died while you watched?" The hall remained silent. Many counselors looked away, ashamed. "2 years ago, I came to this council asking for help," Jake continued. "I begged you to stop the Zephyrians from attacking our colonies. Do you remember what you told me?" Jake's image changed. Now it showed a recording from 2 years earlier, when a younger Jake had stood before the council pleading for aid. "You told me that humanity's problems were not your concern," Jake said. "You told me that galactic law did not require you to help. You told me to find a quiet corner of the galaxy and hide." The recording ended and Jake's current image returned. "Well, we did not hide. Instead, we learned. We learned that in this galaxy, only the strong survive. We learned that mercy is seen as weakness. We learned that the only way to protect our people is to make others fear us." Dr. Rachel Stone appeared beside Jake in the transmission. She looked tired, but proud. "For 2 years we studied your technology," Rachel said. "Every species in this council gave us something to learn from. The Zephyrians taught us about energy weapons. The Centaurians taught us about shields. The Draconians taught us about armor. We took the best ideas from all of you," Jake added. "Then we made them better. Much better." Behind Jake, the image changed to show the human fleet. Hundreds of ships floated in space, their black hulls gleaming with weapons that the galaxy had never seen before. "This is what we built while you thought we were hiding," Jake said. "This is what happens when you leave humans alone with their anger and their intelligence." Counselor Yith found her voice. "What do you want from us, Admiral Murphy?" "I want you to understand the new reality," Jake replied. "Humanity is no longer asking for your protection. We are no longer begging for your help. We are telling you how things will be from now on." Jake's voice became harder, colder. "Any attack on human colonies will be met with complete destruction. Any species that threatens human civilians will face the same fate as the Zephyrian fleet. Any government that stands by while humans are murdered will be held responsible." General Voss stood up, his warrior pride making him angry. "You cannot threaten the entire galaxy. We will unite against you." "With what?" Jake asked. "The Zephyrians had the strongest fleet in the galaxy, and we destroyed it in 6 hours. How long do you think your ships would last?" Major Sam Price appeared in the transmission. "We have weapons that can destroy planets. Ships that can appear anywhere without warning. Soldiers who have been trained for nothing but war. But we do not want war, Jake continued. We want peace. But it will be peace on our terms. Commander Lisa Hayes joined the transmission. From this day forward, humanity claims the right to defend itself by any means necessary. We claim the HFY right to strike first if we feel threatened. We claim the right to judge our enemies. You created us, Jake said, his final words echoing through the silent council chamber. Every human life lost on Earth made us stronger. Every plea for help you ignored made us more determined. Every time you looked away while we suffered, you forged us into something you should fear. Jake leaned forward, his eyes burning with cold fury. We are no longer the weak species that begged for your friendship. We are no longer the victims you abandoned. We are humanity, and we have become your judges. Remember that the next time you think about standing by while innocents die. The transmission ended. The council hall remained completely silent for a full minute. No one knew what to say. No one knew what to do. Finally, Councillor Veltar spoke in a shaking voice. What have we done? In the weeks that followed, 3 different species decided to test humanity's resolve. The Vegan Confederacy attacked a human mining colony. Within 2 days, their entire battle fleet was destroyed, and their homeworld was under human occupation. The Rigelian pirates captured a human merchant ship. The USS Retribution appeared in their system 12 hours later. When it left, there were no more Rigelian pirates. The Andromedan Empire declared that humans were not welcome in their space. A single human stealth ship appeared above their capital and transmitted a simple message: reconsider. The Andromedans immediately changed their policy. The galaxy learned quickly. Humanity was no longer a species to be ignored or pushed around. They had become the apex predators of space, and everyone else was their prey. The age of human dominance had begun. Born from the ashes of Earth, forged in the fires of revenge, and tempered by the betrayal of those they had trusted. The galaxy had created its own masters, and there was nothing anyone could do to stop them.